are doing great. I hope you all are safe. And I would like to welcome you all to the seventh session of Global ManTech Summit 2021, organized by student organization Spasmodic under the aegis of Division of Student Welfare, Lovely Professional University. So, since childhood, I always had various questions about leaders. Who is a leader? What does it take to be a leader? What are the good leader qualities? So, fortunately, today we are going to have a session on striving towards vision and visionary leadership. And today we are going to have our guest, Dr. Oleg Konovalov, Global Thought Leader and Advisor, England, UK. So this day is going to all about leadership, all about the leaders, what are the important skills you need to have in you. So all the mic, all the stage, all the audience, everything is going to be in your part. So it's an honor to have you here.
Pragati, thank you very much. Such a warm welcome. Thank you. Hi to all. Life is not a place we live, but a path we take. This is not about where, I would live where I was born and I will do everything that I was prescribed. No, it's about a path. This is about a very firm decision to explore the opportunities and live a meaningful life. The problem is that we all were taught to make choices, or provide the right answers to the given choices. But choice doesn't assume commitment or responsibility. This is more of an excuse to follow like a dead fish, follows the stream. Our life is defined by not a number of problems we solved, but a number of solutions we have found. And that allowed creating successful businesses, living happy families, and create value for others. In fact, we all know that life is meaningless, and this is our obligation to make it meaningful. Millions of unhappy families, millions of businesses that shouldn't be established from day one because they're meaningless. And the problem is that many leaders, they actually can't clearly articulate where they're leading their businesses. And the difference between meaningless and meaningful and valuable, of course, is vision. Huge corporations are falling down. Nokia, BlackBerry, and many others. They lost their vision. Vision defines our highest purpose in personal life and in business. And what's interesting, vision is a firm decision to live and work meaningfully and explore those opportunities we could see. It's not about choice. It's a decision. Choice is for victims of own weaknesses. Decision is about commitment and responsibility. This is for visionaries and for winners. Think of Microsoft, Google, Tata, Apple, SpaceX, Tesla, Crocs. At a certain point, their founders made that firm decision to make a difference beyond their interests. They put own skin into the game. And what I could say, the greatness of your success depends on the greatness of your vision. For many years, for more than 20 years, I kept asking myself simple questions. What is the meaning of what I do? Everything in my life, in private or business life. What do I do for the future? Because we hardly think about the future. We mainly think about the past or what's the problems we have now. No, all the answers are in the future. And this is what I do for my future. And important question, who am I and where do I want to be? So it's about reinventing myself for my best future. Think glass half empty or glass half full, it's a matter of enthusiasm. But what is poured into the glass matters most. So what I pour into my glass of my life, in fact, answers to these questions help me to define what I can do beyond the imaginative reach. Not something I could grab, something I've been advised to do. No, something beyond a basic imagination. I was brought up in a small town. It's Monchigorsk. It's a Kola Peninsula. It's above the Arctic Circle. It's one of those small towns founded around famous Stalin gulags in the cold Arctic. Now, well, it's not the brightest place. And most of my classmates didn't make it to their 50th birthday. It's fairly tough environment. And life put me through different experiences, from facing Gale 11 on a small trolley in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean to the successful execution of global scale business projects highlighted in the Times and different international media, from having nothing at hand to being on the red carpet and considered among the elite of global thought leaders. You know, a few years back, I found myself in a tough professional crisis. And after some heavy losses, exhausted, losing my self-confidence, and I realized that my previous achievement actually held me back because they're restricting my forward thinking. They're still casting me back into the past. And one day I asked myself a simple question. What is greater, my goal, my dreams, or my problems? My goals, without a doubt, very obvious. And the answer is so obvious, question is quite powerful. It struck me like a bolt of lightning. And I realized that if I wasn't aiming to reach that goals beyond my immediate needs, beyond my comfort zone, I will be stuck in unsatisfactory life. I will be a victim of those problems forever. And so to get out of it, it's about creating a strong vision that will define my life or a life of others. We often think that when we think about impact, and particularly when we're young, oh yeah, I want to make a huge impact on the entire world. Impact. Logically, we think that is what we do in terms of how we affect or impact others. Well, yes, straightforward logic. In fact, what I realized with the years, when you do great things, you will find that your achievement can be measured by how your project impacted you. Not anyone, but you. I was working on my recent book, The Vision Code. It's about vision and how to use it as a practical business tool, quite for a few years. I talked to the global visionaries from different countries and industries, USA, Canada, India, UK, Russia, Arab Emirates. And what I realized, I reinvented myself in a course of writing this project quite a few times. This book, The Vision Code, impacted me more than everything else I have done in my life. So your vision will impact you and others around you more than any great goal. But how do we come to this aha moment when creating vision? Vision comes when your conscious awareness of a problem you want to solve for the benefit of others reaches its peak. From this very moment, it wouldn't let you rest. You will be committed to it fully, day and night. It's everything you will do from that moment will be meaningful, because you wouldn't waste your energy on meaningless things. This is a moment when you become wiser, not just smarter. Being smart is not enough. Making meaningful things, it's about being wise. Vision. Vision is not a gift, which we often believe. Vision is a six-step process, and I explained it in my book, The Vision Code. I call this process caviar because it stands for clarity of creation, because vision doesn't come overnight, as I mentioned. It's about grow your deepest aspirations for others into something really tangible. Create a little planet or huge multi-dimensional space in that future where you invite people to live now. And your vision must be well supported by your ability to manage it, because vision is greater than you or me or any company. So you must be really good at managing or leading that vision. Therefore, you must be courageous enough to think boldly. You must learn all the time, particularly learn from people, listen to people. You must grow your inner excellence. You must grow your confidence in terms of how you deliver your promises. And you must grow your knowledge bank, how you engage and knowledge of others into it. And actually, you would grow with your vision. If you stop growing, your vision will die. It's about viability, because vision is very pragmatic. It's very practical. It's not an illusion. It's not just empty promise. It's very, very beautiful thought construct. And it has 6 criteria, which is stimulus, because you do everything for others and you creating value for others. It's about scale. It always has a potential for extension and it grows. It's about spotlight. You're putting your own skin into the game. You become responsible because you're impacting people's life. You're like on a Broadway for 24/7. It's about scanning. What is painful? What people needs? What needs change? It's about simplicity, because vision is an elegant thinking about complicated things. If you would make it complicated, no one will go with you. So, and of course, it's about excitement and passion, because vision is a strong emotion itself. And of course, it attracts hearts. It becomes a magnet when people see that passion in you, and they become multipliers of your passion. They're excited. It's phenomenal, But the true magic, even on communicating a vision, comes as a next step, because it's about influence. Yes, we're communicating vision. Yes, we're sharing vision. That's great. But we communicate fact, and we share emotions and stories, in which people want to be involved. They want to be main characters in those stories. But the true magic actually is inability to pass ownership of that vision to all people who are supported it. Let them feel and receive the benefits of that vision, not just be witnesses, but be real actors of it. And of course, it's about acting, otherwise, or execution, otherwise, vision will die like an insect. It must be done based on strong leadership, which is about decision making. As we mentioned, it's about focus and will. It's about strong culture. It's about clearly knowing where you go and leading people. And it's about revitalizing, because the higher we climb, the further we see. And it's like a great movie or a great novel. At every stage has a sign to be continued. Vision dies if it's not developed further. Every stage of vision creation is nurtured by inspiration. Inspiration is a very interesting phenomenon. Inspiration fits vision, which in turn generates more inspiration. This is nothing about motivation. When people say, oh, you are a motivational speaker, I say, no, 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 no chance, no chance. I will pay nothing for motivation, but I will give everything for inspiration. You know, motivation is some kind of a short push. Millions of people every Christmas promising that the next day they will go to a gym because they were it. But I love go to a gym after Christmas. It's empty. All those motivated guys, they continue sitting on their sofas. You know, it's motivation is meaningless. But inspiration, it's something when you show people that it is possible to do in their own way. People see you as a model, and inspiration radiates miles and miles around you. It's about you being inspired. It's about you seeing something greater than you and go for it. That's phenomenal. So when you're particularly young, it's not just about being motivated, it's about being inspired. And that would define your life. As I said, vision is a decision to live differently with a greater purpose. This is your conscious decision, not a random choice. And when it comes with responsibility, we think of the next generations. You would be thinking about your future kids. I'm thinking about my son and his children. Because all of us, we are living artifacts for the next generation. We empower the next generation by showing what it is possible to achieve. And so we're all responsible for that legacy. And as earlier we start creating that or building up that legacy, the more we could live to the next generation. You know, one of my clients said once to me, oh, vision is great, of course, but how to choose, between great visionaries and their visions? And my answer is always simple. Create your own vision if you want to change something for good using your own desires and your own capacity. In fact, you are stronger than you think, and you have already become much better as a leader because you learn every day. And now it is your turn to become a co-creator of that positive future and to add enormous power to society, to that planet. Your vision defines your own life and business success. And don't allow anyone to silence your vision. Be the master of the future who inspire others. Put your signature on the future being here now. Thank you. Ask your questions, please.
Well, thank you so much. You just talked about the legacy and how the future generation is actually dependent upon us because we are the people who are going to start the trend of how something can be achieved, right?
Yep.
So everything remains among us. So talking about legacy and the future generation, the first question that actually came to my mind was, how do you think that the education system around us is actually making or nourishing the future leaders in the schools? So at what extent do you agree with the education system right now?
Bless you for this question. I always argue, education gives you a formal qualification, but it wouldn't give you none of the competences to live or work in a good way. We have a problem. Every generation insisting the next generation to take their mistakes or accept mistakes that we'll have. My generation insisting younger generation to accept our faults. My parents' generation did the same. My grandparents insisted my parents to do the same, and it's all rolling through, and so we tend to drag old mistakes from the past into the future. In this sense, education gives you formulas, but how to apply those formulas is your decision, not somebody else. If you think, okay, thank you for teaching me how to use this math formula or write this IT code or do marketing, great. That's just knowledge, but without ability to apply it artfully, thoughtfully, meaningfully, no one could teach you. It's your decision. So you're taking it as only the basis. The rest is your responsibility. That would make your life different. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, talking about education and talking about the whole pandemic situation that has been going through since 2020. And I hope so that things get better this year. But I have a very important question. The question is about the work-life balance, because with the change of the corporate world, people actually came in their home and started doing work from home. So this was one of the most common thing that happened during pandemic, right? So what happened that the working hours actually extended. So if somebody was working for 9 hours, right now they're working for around 12 hours. So could you give us some tips about the work-life balance and how it can be balanced?
Okay. Well, quite difficult question for me because I don't believe in a work-life balance. If you know what you do, it's all together, your personal life, your business life, because it's all committed into one direction. And therefore, you say, okay, great. It's about my family, it's about my work, it's about impact. Therefore, it's enjoying both sides of it. You know, because we go to the office to feed our families, to get professional satisfaction and approval that will get back to family. It's one thing. Another thing is I have difficulty because for many years I'm working from home, right? And my working hours are usually, it's about 80 hours a week. You know, this is my work time to create big things, to train people, to coach people, to write books. It's about energy. It's not about time. If I need to do something in quality, I must do this job or assignment in quality. If it takes more time, I will devote more time. It's nothing about do half job and say, okay, I have done for today. No. Nothing about this. So that's where I would be struggling to answer on that part. If you
So
don't see,
basically, yeah.
if you don't see your family life meaningful, you will spend more time in the office and saying, yeah, I'll stay more in the office. If you see your business life meaningless, you will escape on every chance from the office to get back to family. The balance is in being meaningful in both. You can't have separate visions for your personal life and for your business. They're all together.
Okay, so it's not about the time, it's actually about how much you want to do your work accurately and efficiently, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so this has been one of the most important problem that as a student I see in the corporate world. So thank you so much for blessing me with your answer that it should always about the quality. So moving forward, I would like to know your opinion about the youths and what do you think that how much the leadership is shown in them. What are your views on today's youth attitude towards leadership?
We face, thanks to pandemic, we realize that leadership is not as strong as proclaimed. I found that less than 0.1% of modern leaders have vision. So in fact, the majority of leaders, they don't know where they're leading people. They're just saying, okay, we would go somewhere. They're pleasing people because they're looking for consensus, because they don't know where to go and they're asking for a public opinion. As a leader, my duty is to define that future, invite people to live it and lead them there. And this is about leadership. I don't need a leader who would please me now. I need a leader who would make me better, stronger, and he would lead me somewhere. This is where leadership stands for. How many such leaders do you know around you? Pragati, can you tell me? I assume a handful in the best scenario,
Yeah.
even less. And that's a leadership. And you would remember these people for years ahead. How many pleasers do you remember? None. That's a difference. And that's what we talk about, real modern leadership. And it's related to all sorts of things we do in this life. Social, political, business, whatever this, approaches. Even in families.
Right. So leaders can be one who are actually passionate about the vision that they are carrying. So not everyone can be a leader, right? So people actually say that leaders are born, they cannot be made. So what is your opinion over this?
Leaders are made. Leaders are made, and we know, in fact, when somebody is saying, yes, I will take a lead because I know it should be done in the best way, and then they're stepping out. At that particular moment, they are leaders. We tend to lead people without even thinking, but knowing that, okay, I will be responsible for it, but I will make a difference. We think of a leader as somebody of a high caliber. No, it could be everyone in every situation in this life. So it's not about rank. It's about how you see people and how do you serve them. I have a great experience. I was chairing an exam in one of the universities, and the student, he was quite vague, actually, very vague in his answers. But I said, "Oh, young guy, you're failing. You just in trouble." He said, "No, you're not good to me. I'm a young leader." I said, "Okay, can you tell me what's people achieved under your leadership?" And he went blank. So it doesn't matter your rank or title. It doesn't matter your age. Actually, vision doesn't have gender, age, or nationality, or race. It doesn't matter, or level of education. It's about what people achieved. If you've been leading one or two people, how they have grown, what they have achieved. It's not about me saying I'm a leader. It's about people saying you are our leader.
Well, that was wonderful. The team members, the people who are actually following you, they represent you. So you cannot strive and tell everybody that you are a leader. Those who are following you, they should actually tell you that what kind of leader are you. So talking about the followers, talking about a leadership approach, I would like to know about the most important factor these days, that is the communication. People say that transparency and communication are the most two important aspect being a leader. So what do you think that an efficient communication for a leader can lead to? How much positive it can be?
You must communicate your vision as much as you can. You can't over communicate your vision. You must talk about people. You must talk what people would achieve all the time. You must engage people. So communication is critical. And as I mentioned, it's about communicating and sharing. You must involve both. We communicate facts, but we share emotions and story. Both must be there. Talk. Because the easiest thing to kill people passion to just stay quiet. and people, it will die. Keep that passion warm. Hit them. You know, appreciate the effort. Everything in this. About transparency, in my view, transparency it's integrity. Because you can't reveal everything because something you even don't know. And if you just think, hey guys, I don't know this, we should find an answer together, this is more of integrity. Just to be honest with people. It's not about hiding something from people or revealing everything to them. It's about being really true. Or if I'm working on some kind of idea or some kind of a plan, I don't know, I don't have it yet. I could say, okay, I'm working on it, but I don't have it yet. Somebody will say, oh, it's not, you are not transparent. I am. I'm honest.
Well, thank you. The time is almost over. So I have just one last question that I would want to know. It's a very common question, but I think so it is the most confusing thing that I have ever heard about. So what is the difference between a goal and a vision?
I have a great goal to lose 2 kilos of weight within 2 months. Great, I have done it. Fixed it. That's my goal. Many people think their goal, my clients, for instance, we want to create a $1 billion company. That's it. This is your personal ambitions. If your goal to be #1 company in the world, oh, that's great. But its goal is something A, with a clear dead end, it's done, fixed, or it's more of a personal ambitions. Vision is a space where multiple, and it's live and it's dynamic, it grows. It's very functional, as I said. That's the difference.
Well, that was quite simpler. I always thought that it could be a very tough and confusing thing for me, but it had been really simpler. So thank you so much.
But think for a moment. Young girl, goal. I want to get married. Okay. Got married. That's it. And what else? No. I want to get married and create a happy family and so on. It's just a much greater space.
Right. So vision is basically infinitive. You cannot have a definite vision, right? So that was great. And this session was amazing. I would like to thank the student organization Spasmodic for giving us this small session for making our day the most productive one. I would like to give you the stage once more so that you could give a word of appreciation for these students who have worked really hard to organize this event. That would be a blessing for them.
Thank you very much. And thanks to lovely university. When I'm working on my book, I have 4-year-old son, and I'm always thinking, okay, if my son would read my book books in 20 years' time, I want him to think, oh, Dad, thank you, instead of thinking, what a stupid sake, and thanks to you all, because your generation is my judge, because you would be judging what I do for you sooner or later. Having such a judge, it's a great privilege. Thank you.
It was a privilege for us as well. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for empowering with us with so many motivational words. I hope we can meet it in the university live after the pandemic for sure. So this was an amazing session. And I thank you all the audiences for being here, for being the part of this event. So this is the end. Till then, stay leading, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.